This is my review of the Who album, The Who Sell Out. It was released in 1967 and produced by Kit Lambert and Chris Stamp. So this was actually the last Who album featuring the original lineup that I got. When I was like growing up and looking for the CDs, I pretty much never saw this one. I know I ended up getting it offline, but I don't remember when exactly that was. So yeah, this album, I think this one in my generation was like the only Who albums with Keith Moon on them that I couldn't find on CD growing up. I got the CD copy of it, but I didn't get it out, and this vinyl copy I got at the record store a couple years ago. So yeah, this is kind of a weird album for me and kind of a weird album for the band. It sounds, they try to make it sound like a pirate radio station, I guess, so it's got like commercials on it and stuff, which I think is really cool, really gives it a different feel, kind of makes it a pretty unique album. I would say that this is probably like their most psychedelic album, really, even though I wouldn't like call all the songs that psychedelic, but there's definitely some trippy stuff on here, which like I really love psychedelic stuff, so you think that would make it one of my favorite Who albums, but really I think like getting it so late kind of impacted my feelings on it a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, I've just never really been as into this album as I think a lot of people are. I have been listening to it a lot more recently though, since I'm tired of some of their other stuff, so it has grown on me a lot, and it's not that I've ever really disliked this album. I think it's a great album, and there's a lot of songs on here that I really love. It's just that it's not one of my favorites, like compared to some of the other ones. And I don't know, I think some of that has to do with some things in the production and some things with, I don't know, probably just getting it late, really. I don't know, if I had gotten this earlier, maybe it would be one of my favorites, but it's just never really been one of my favorite albums by these guys. So the album opens with Armonia, City in the Sky by Speed Keen. I think that's how you say his name. I haven't heard of the guy, but I really like this song. It's a really cool sounding, like psychedelic track. It didn't like grab me at first, but the more and more I listen to it, the more I get into it. It's a really cool opener. Yeah, it's a really kind of trippy sounding song for them. Second track, Heinz Baked Beans, is one of the commercials. This one by Entwistle. I think he kind of wrote all the commercials. And I like all the commercials. I don't have a whole lot to say about them other than like it's really cool how they fit in the album, and it really kind of gets to the point where they're almost like the songs, like where you a song ends and like you know what commercial is going to come next. So that's really cool. The third track, Marianne with Shaky Hands. This one, great song, but there's like 3 different versions of this song, and I kind of like wish I could cut together the different parts of them to make my own like ultimate version of it, because I'm not really like happy with the 3 different versions on their own, because they just like, I don't know, they all have something or like missing something cool that one of the other ones has or something like that. This one's got this really cool like shaky effect on the voice at one part that some of the other ones don't have, and it's missing like the drums on it for some reason. Like you can just barely hear the drums, and there's like other versions of the song where the drums are pretty prominent. So like this version I just wish had like more prominent drums, and I would like it more. The fourth track, Odorono, this one's sung by Pete. Song with some pretty funny like lyrics that kind of tells a story. It's really catchy. I've always liked that one a lot. The fifth track, Tattoo, great song, but this is another one where like for some reason the drums on it just like aren't there really, at least compared to like the live versions of it. So I really prefer the live version of Tattoo, especially off like Live at Leeds, because Keith's drums on it are just great, and for some reason they're just like kind of not here on the album version. Sixth track, Our Love, this one is sung by Pete. Really great vocal by him. He's got like 2 of my favorite vocals on this album, this song and one of the later ones. Really great song, really catchy, love the drums on it. Really cool guitar solo on it as well. This one's a major highlight for me. Seventh track, I Can See for Miles. This was one of the only songs I knew going into this album. Actually, I think it was the only one. And I've always liked it a lot. Just a great track. Not a lot to say about it, but it's one of their more psychedelic sounding songs, and just always been into that one. The eighth track, I Can't Reach You, another one sung by Pete. And I really love his vocal on this as well. Just a great vocal. Really catchy song, probably my favorite on the album. Just always really liked that one. Then you have Medak, I think is how you say it, another one of the End Whistle commercials, which I like. The 10th track, Relax, is cool. It's a catchy song. I like the guitar in it. The 11th track, Silas Stingy, is a song by John Entwistle. It's a weird song. It's kind of like, I don't know, almost like, I don't know, like classical sounding, or like it's got this weird like gothic sound to it. It's just it's a weird song, but I like it. I kind of like the verses a little bit more than the chorus, but on the whole, I enjoy that one. The 12th track, Sunrise. This one's sung by Pete. It's kind of a different song for the album. It's got some cool like fingerpick guitar from Pete. I enjoy it, but I do kind of like lose my attention or like focus on it a little bit as it goes on. And then the 13th and final track, Real, longest thing on the album, and I've never really been the biggest fan of it. Like, the playing's good. It's got kind of a bunch of different parts to it, and I like different parts of it, but I guess it's always kind of bothered me because like it uses some stuff that kind of came up again in Tommy, and I was familiar with Tommy first, and I was a big fan of Tommy, so then like hearing this kind of, I don't know, it like takes me out of it a little bit. So never been the biggest fan of that. Is a way to end the album, but I don't really have any like huge problems with it. It's just not my favorite thing. There's a bunch of bonus tracks on the CD. Glittering Girl, which is pretty good. Melancholia, I think, I'm not sure how to say that, which I can't even remember off the top of my head. Someone's Coming and Jaguar, which I also can't really remember. Early Morning Cold Taxi I kind of like. They do an instrumental, Hall of the Mountain King, which is kind of cool. Girl's Eyes, which is by Keith Moon, I believe, is my favorite of the bonus tracks by far. That one, really catchy song. I've always really liked that. Another version of Marianne with Shaky Hands, and then Glow Girl, which I can't remember that much. So, CD version with the bonus tracks is pretty cool, but the only one that I listen to a whole lot is Girl's Eyes. So yeah, the Who Sell Out, not my favorite Who album, but I think it's a really great album. Really, it's just got like one song, the last one, that I don't really care for that much. I don't know if I'd start here though, because it's a really different album for them. It's really kind of a unique album in their discography. But I definitely recommend checking it out. It is a really great album.